Despite the big losses and ongoing setbacks in Ukraine, Moscow's military reach continues to expand elsewhere, in particular, building new bases in the Arctic Circle. Details now from CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh.
Up here in the Arctic, you wouldn't get the feeling Russia's military is crippled by its catastrophic invasion of Ukraine. To Moscow, this ice, quickly receding with climate change, is vital to its defence and future. These new satellite images obtained by CNN reveal the changes at key military installations over just the past year and show that despite the damage done to Russia's military from their invasion of Ukraine, they're still expanding up near the Arctic Circle fast. Towards the east, 3 radomes have been built up here at Tixi between this October and last. Work here too over the last year on the runway in the Nagorskoye airfield far up near the Arctic Circle. And one of 5 new Resonance N radars, which they claim can find stealth jets emerging out of nowhere here. And this new building at one radar station nearer Norway, emerging since June last year. In an exclusive interview, NATO's chief is aware of the growing threat.
What we see now is a significant Russian military buildup in the high north, as we see Russia reopening old Soviet bases, military sites, but also testing novel weapons in the Arctic and the high north.
The Arctic is vital to Russia, not only for oil and gas, but also as part of its nuclear defence. The Kremlin is also urgently launching new atomic icebreakers to ensure it retains influence over a shorter trade route from the Pacific to Europe, opened up by climate change reducing the Arctic ice cover. But the war in Ukraine has led to major changes on both sides. Russia sent 75% of its Arctic land forces to Ukraine, a senior Western intelligence official has told me, but its navy is almost untouched, semi-detached from the war, they added. Also, after strikes on airfields deep inside Russia, jets have been dispersed around its territory, some to the north, boosting effectively their presence in the Arctic. NATO is also sending its messages. What you're seeing here looks like a normal airdrop of a supply pallet, but it is an unprecedented exercise over Norway by US Special Forces this year, dropping off a cruise missile on a parachute. Here, it ignites, the US military keen to show it can fire such arms from a cargo plane, greatly increasing its range near Russia. Shaken by recent sabotage of Baltic Sea pipelines, NATO is now focused on protecting Norway's energy infrastructure. Now, Norway, not Russia, supplies about 30% of the gas export to Europe.
Since the sabotage in the Baltic Sea, we have doubled our presence with ships, with submarines, with maritime patrol aircrafts in the Baltic and the North Seas.
A change unlikely to calm Moscow or reduce its footprint somewhere so close to home. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, London.
Meantime, state media reports that Putin will lead a meeting Wednesday reviewing the military's performance this year, also laying out its tasks for next year. More now from CNN's Claire Sebastian.
Russia is continuing to put on a show of integration with the 4 Ukrainian regions it illegally annexed. Putin awarding the acting heads of those regions state awards on Tuesday, praising their contribution to the motherland, even as Russia's efforts to maintain control of those territories flounders. And as if to hammer that point home, Ukraine's President Zelensky held his own award ceremony on Tuesday for soldiers actually in one of those annexed regions. In Donetsk, Zelensky paid a surprise visit to the town of Bakhmut, an area currently seeing some of the most intense fighting in this war. Well, President Putin is clearly facing mounting pressure. A day earlier, he actually admitted that the situation in those regions was, quote, extremely difficult. And amid increasingly regular attacks on Russian soil, he's tightening control at home, urging Russia's security services to step up surveillance on what he called traitors, spies and saboteurs, and step up control of the country's borders and strategic facilities. Well, as it heads to the end of the year with minimal gains despite a partial mobilization, Russia's next move in this conflict is the subject of much speculation. On Wednesday, Putin is set to meet with the board of his defense ministry. That will be closely watched. Claire Sebastian, CNN, London.